actually see me submitting. I can actually see me submitting. I don't see a way I lose, to be honest. I really don't.
Look at the size of those paws, dude.
Come on, lad.
Look at the size of those paws.
And I'm smelling an upset here, and I do believe that a win over Michael Chandler could put him in a really good position where he could be one fight away from fighting for the title.
Chandler, he's gonna knock that dude out. I like Paddy, but yeah, he might get knocked out.
What do you think's more likely? Do you think Chandler fights smart, or do you think he doesn't and loses?
I think he doesn't and loses.
Okay, I like the honesty.
UFC 314 is less than a week away as Paddy the Baddy Pimblett faces off with Iron Michael Chandler in a co-main event clash this Saturday at Kaseya Center in Miami. This is a crucial fight for both fighters, as a win here will take them closer to a title shot. Paddy Pimblett has already made his intentions clear that he wants the lightweight belt. Sharing his plan, Paddy said that after defeating Chandler, he will look to beat someone from the top 5 rankings to get a title fight in the upcoming year.
I think once I've finished Michael Chandler, I'm only going to need one more fight. Thinking like an Arman, a Charles, a Gagey, you know what I mean? Someone like that, fight the top 5, and then I'll be able to demand a title shot in 2026.
Michael Chandler also has some big expectations from this fight. He wants to give his best and predicts to knock out Paddy Pimblett at UFC 314. Chandler even thinks he could knock out Paddy in the first round, and he will put him under great test on April 12th.
I've already visualized knocking out Paddy Pimblett. A couple of the call-outs, a couple of things I'm going to say. First round would be great. I think I'm going to put a pace and a presence on him that he's never felt before. Now, we'll see if does he sink or he swims. I think just because there's been an absence of strength of schedule in his career thus far doesn't mean there's a presence of cowardice. You know, he could be tougher than we think he is. We'll find out. But April 12th, Miami, Florida, UFC 314, we do find out if he sinks or swims. But knock him out first round. Go out there, rip off a crazy promo draped in the stars and the bars. Hopefully President Trump is cage side. Get the entire place to the feet.
Not only does Paddy Pimblett expect to defeat Chandler, but he plans to make things easy for the judges as well. Paddy is confident that he will finish this fight within the first couple of rounds. He said that during an interview with ESPN MMA in the presence of Michael Chandler. As expected, Chandler didn't hold back and showed his huge paws to give Paddy a clear warning. He even said that Paddy has little birds like paws that won't be enough to trouble him.
As I say, I think I can finish this fight anywhere. He loves lunging in with his punches. I can see me catching him with a shot on the way in, putting him down, or I can actually see me submitting. I don't see a way I lose, to be honest. I really don't.
Look at the size of those paws, dude.
Come on, lad. See the size of these?
Look at the size of those paws.
See the size of these? But
bird hands, yeah, dude.
I think we're gonna have a scrap on the feet. I know Mike won't take me down. I know he knows he'll be in for a world of trouble on the floor. So I think we're gonna have a scrap on the feet.
Michael Chandler also shared his plan for approaching this bout and finishing the Englishman. According to Chandler, he will test the skills of Paddy as he hasn't faced someone like him. Chandler admits that Paddy is a good fighter, but the American fighter doubts that he might not be able to withstand him. Michael Chandler is very excited for this fight, and he believes he will leave the cage as the winner of the co-main event of UFC 314.
I'm going to have one foot on the gas, one foot on Paddy's throat. I'm going to throw big bombs, and we're going to see if he sinks or swims. He's never fought a guy like I am, but that doesn't mean he's not the man for the job. So we'll see how it plays out. All I know is I'm getting my hand raised on Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Michael Chandler is known for having a do-or-die attitude every time he steps into his fights. The former Bellator champion moved to the UFC in 2021, and since then, Chandler has shared the cage with the likes of some big lightweight stars, including Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, and Dustin Poirier. Though he hasn't won the belt, Chandler has earned plenty of respect for the quality of opponents he's fought. Chandler is now set to face Paddy, and he won't take him easy and give his best in that fight as well. Michael Chandler said, "When it comes to strength of schedule, when it comes to a guy who came in and said what he was going to do and then do it, fight the Mount Rushmore first ballot Hall of Famers of the who's who of the lightweight division, that has been my strength of schedule thus far. But I'm not taking Paddy lightly. An absence of strength of schedule is not the presence of weakness. Michael Chandler further said that he never underestimates his opponents, and he will fight Paddy with his 100% efforts. He knows that Paddy might look like a young, immature fighter, but his fighting skills are always a threat to anyone he faces. Michael Chandler said, "I'm looking at Paddy like he's the most dangerous guy who I could possibly face on April 12th. Even if he is self-proclaimed, looks like a 16-year-old boy, but he doesn't fight like that, and we're going to go out and put on a show for the fans." However, Paddy Pimblett is not taking any pressure for this fight, as he believes he won't lose against Chandler. According to Paddy, the only threat to him is a big blow to his chin, but he said there's no way anyone could knock out a Scousers.
I think anywhere this fight goes, I'm going to win. The only way I lose here is if I get it with a big, crazy, wild shot on the chin. And as you all know, Scousers don't get knocked out. There's no way that's happening.
Meanwhile, Michael Chandler rejects this claim and said he will change Paddy's thoughts by knocking him out at UFC 314. He is excited to show his skills to the Englishman and smash his chin on Saturday night. Paddy Pimblett is currently undefeated in UFC with 6 consecutive wins, and he is looking to extend his streak at UFC 314. He knows that he might not be able to match the accomplishments of Chandler's previous foes, but the Englishman is on the rise and could be coming to put the final nail in Michael Chandler's UFC championship belt hopes. Paddy Pimblett said, "Other people he's fought, he's not wrong. He's fought first ballot Hall of Famers. He's fought Poirier, he's fought Gaethje, he's fought Charles. All the best lightweights in the division for the past 5 years. But I think I'm gonna make it look easier than they did. They play into Mike's style. They stand there and brawl with him. I think anywhere this fight goes, I'm gonna win, to be honest." On the other hand, the MMA pros have shared their thoughts and final predictions for this fight. The former UFC double champion Henry Cejudo said that he is sensing an upset in the fight between Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. He believes Paddy is a very skilled fighter, and it would be a huge mistake to underestimate him. According to Cejudo, Paddy has the potential to beat Michael Chandler, and if he does that, then he would be in a very good position in the lightweight division.
I'm smelling an upset, bro. I think with Paddy Pimblett, dude, I think he's gonna bring in the grappling. I think he might pull guard on this dude.
You said pull guard?
He might. If he cannot take Michael Chandler down, he's more likely going to have to do that. But I just feel like Paddy Pimblett, he's a lot better than what I thought. And what he was able to do to Bobby Green, his transitional stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we gotta put respect on that dude's name.
Henry Cejudo thinks Paddy has evolved his skills with each fight, and now he would be a big threat for Michael Chandler. The former UFC champion thinks that a win at UFC 314 will probably put him just one fight away from getting his first title shot in UFC.
Like, I just feel like with Michael Chandler, I think the UFC know what they're doing, and they're doing a 5-rounder. Like, think about it too. I think Paddy Pimblett is a lot better than what we think, and I'm smelling an upset here, and I do believe that he could a win over Michael Chandler could put him in a really good position where he could be one fight away from fighting for the title.
Kamaru Usman also agrees with Henry Cejudo that after passing the Michael Chandler challenge, Paddy Pimblett might be just one fight away from fighting for the lightweight title. Kamaru Usman thinks Justin Gaethje might be the potential opponent for Paddy's path for the title shot.
One fight away, Kamaru, if he does get past to Michael Chandler.
I can see that because the top of that division right now, you still got guys up there. You got Arman Tsarukyan. You got Charles Oliveira still lingering right there. You've got who I think is next is Justin Gaethje and incoming Ilia Topuria still lingering out there for that title shot. So my man, you are right. I could see him being one fight away.
The famous MMA analyst Luke Thomas believes that Paddy has the skills to beat Chandler, but there are still some question marks there. Luke thinks the lack of experience is a major concern for Paddy because he has never encountered such a big fight before. Luke is excited to see Paddy's approach for this fight, having a slight chance to win as well.
He's absolutely got the skills to beat Michael Chandler. He absolutely has the skills to beat him, but you can't be too sure because he's never beaten somebody this good, even at a 38 or 39-year-old Michael Chandler. He's certainly never beaten an athlete this good, and he's never beaten anybody this experienced. When you say, well, Tony Ferguson, okay, but Tony was like mega washed by the time that they fought, right? So it was like completely Chandler looked decent enough in his last fight where he doesn't look, peak, but he doesn't look washed by any stretch. So this is a super interesting fight. The long story short is, His striking is much improved, but definitely still a liability to a degree.
Former UFC champion Jamahal Hill predicts that Michael Chandler will get his hand raised at UFC 314. He said Paddy is also a great fighter and delivered an excellent performance against Bobby Green. However, Hill believes Paddy Pimblett's attacks won't put Michael Chandler in much trouble, and he will be the one to claim the victory at UFC 314.
I probably lean toward more towards Michael Chandler. Paddy's a big dude, bro. He's a big 155er, you know, and anytime he's been given a challenge, like even the Bobby Green fight, like I knew he was bigger, but I thought the speed of Bobby would present more of a problem for him. But he suffocated that by just hard kicks, making Bobby stay shelled up, you know. So it's it's up there. But you know, I probably would lean more towards Michael Chandler just because how hard he hits. He's able to find his shots, and Paddy is not the hardest to hit, you know, and Michael's not easy to take down.
Similarly, another former UFC champion, Jan Blachowicz, thinks Paddy is a good fighter, but Michael Chandler has better skills and experience. Blachowicz said Chandler has the upper hand at UFC 314.
It's, you know, very, very, very nice fight. Maybe on paper Chandler, but Paddy is, you know, he's very good, you know, and he got his weird style, and he know how to use it. So
on the contrary, Chepe Mariscal picks Paddy Pimblett to beat Michael Chandler in Miami. The UFC featherweight fighter thinks Michael Chandler is overdoing everything, and Paddy is doing the right job by keeping things simple. Mariscal believes Paddy will extend his winning streak by beating Chandler on April 12th.
Man, I gotta go for Pimblett. I think Chandler's doing too much, you know, like I think he's trying to just feed onto something, and I feel like, man, like he just needs to win, you know, and I feel like I'm going for Pimblett because he's on a winning streak, and I feel like I'm on the same kind of path. I think he has one more win than I do in the UFC, so it's cool to see guys like that, you know, evolve and win. I was a huge Tapora fan against Max, you know, just because I liked his run. I'm liking the run he has himself. So.
Moreover, the UFC bantamweight fighter Vince Morales believes this will be a tough fight, but he backs Paddy the Baddy Pimblett to get the job done against the veteran Michael Chandler. Vince Morales said, "That's a tough one, dude. Let's go Paddy because he has been doing his thing." Brandon Moreno's coach Saif Saud acknowledged the passion of Michael Chandler for fighting. Saud likes the hard work of Chandler, but he feels Paddy Pimblett shouldn't be underestimated as well. According to the veteran coach, Paddy has proved himself under pressure situations, and this fight will be a big test to show their real skills and prove who is the better fighter.
Man, I love Chandler. He's the man. And, you know, he's such a hard worker. He's got so much energy. He's ferocious. He gets in these brawls, though, you know, where he comes on the short end of the stick. And I think that Paddy has shown that he can be, you know, pretty cool under pressure. And I mean, you know, pulling submissions and stuff like that, it's not easy to do those things. And that takes timing, and it takes real know-how. And Paddy's got a lot of fights. You know, I remember he kind of waited and then they brought him back in. So to me, this is really a crossroads fight for both of them.
Saif Saud further thinks that to make his name in the lightweight division, Paddy Pimblett has to win this fight. According to him, Paddy is becoming a better fighter with each fight, and he has the ability to turn the tables at UFC 314.
If Paddy wants to go to the upper echelon of the lightweight division, he's going to have to beat Michael Chandler. I mean, you know, just like Oliveira and all the other guys did. But you see what Chandler did to Hooker and what he did to Ferguson. Chandler's dangerous, man. I mean, he can take you out, and he fights only the very best of the best. So if Paddy Pimblett is not 100% on point, you know, we're going to see where he is really in the lightweight division. But he definitely seems capable. We'll see where that weight cut and all that other stuff, and, you know, it seems like he dials all that stuff in. He's getting more and more dangerous as he matures in the octagon.
However, Christian Rodriguez says Michael Chandler will get the job done against Paddy Pimblett. The UFC featherweight fighter acknowledged the skills of both fighters, but he knows that only one has to win, and he feels Chandler will be the better fighter to claim victory on Saturday night.
I got Chandler. I think Chandler is gonna I don't want to say expose him, because like I hate when I hear that, like, oh, they exposed him. I'm like, this guy's a great fighter. Like, you didn't expose anybody. It's just like at this level, both fighters are amazing. They're both great. You know, it's like there's always one better fighter, but I think Chandler gets it done.
Gerald Meerschaert also has similar thoughts as he backs Michael Chandler to win at UFC 314. He praised the style and skills of the American fighter and gave him the edge over Paddy Pimblett. The UFC middleweight fighter also thinks it would be an interesting fight, so he seems to be excited for their matchup.
Man, I don't know. I guess I know Chandler, so I kind of hope he wins, but that's an interesting one because I could see Chandler just like throwing caution to the wind and swinging away and like falling into a triangle or something. Like, not saying he couldn't get out of it, but like, I think there's ways for him to win that are much easier than he's going to make it on himself, if that makes sense.
So who do you give the edge to?
I still Chandler, but yeah, we'll see how that one goes.
Meanwhile, Luis Garule has a different opinion as he picks Paddy Pimblett to win at UFC 314. The UFC flyweight fighter was surprised with the performance of Paddy against Bobby Green, and now he highly rates him.
Paddy really surprised me with that Bobby Green fight. I didn't think his jiu-jitsu looked so slick right there. I'm gonna go with Paddy on this one. I think Chandler loves the chaos, but I think he gets so chaotic sometimes. He puts himself in bad positions, and I think Paddy's gonna take advantage of it.
The UFC lightweight fighter Jai Herbert is expecting an entertaining fight between Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. He compared their matchup to the changing of guards, where Paddy Pimblett will fight to replace the experienced Michael Chandler.
Yeah, I've been asked this question a couple of times. I mean, it's just like, I think it's like a change in the guard fight. You got the old, like, not the old, but the veteran who's been
He
there.
is old, to be fair. I mean, he's almost 40. Like, he's what, 38, I think. So.
Yeah, but he's the veteran, isn't he? He's been there, done that, and obviously you got Paddy's coming up as well. He's just hit the top 15, so it's a bit of a crossroads fight, isn't it? So it's going to be entertaining. I'd say it'd be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, I know it's going to be entertaining anyway.
However, Marion Santos backs Paddy Pimblett to beat Chandler in Miami. According to the featherweight fighter, Chandler has passed his prime, and Paddy has the best chance to beat him.
Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett. I'm gonna go with Paddy. I don't think Chandler has it no more, so I'm gonna go with Paddy.
The UFC bantamweight fighter Mario Bautista explained the skill set and shared the winning strategy of both fighters. Mario feels Chandler is a good fighter, but he has to fight smartly and keep his cool, otherwise Paddy will get the advantage and submit him. Sharing his prediction, Mario feels Chandler will lose control and suffer a defeat against Paddy Pimblett.
Ooh, that should be interesting. I think if Michael Chandler just fights smart, which is, I don't know if that can go in the same sentence. I think he can win, but if he gets a little crazy and kind of reckless how he has been, I could see Paddy, probably winning this fight, maybe by submission too. So I don't know. We'll see.
What do you think's more likely? Do you think Chandler fights smart, or do you think he doesn't and loses?
I think he doesn't and loses.
Okay, I like the honesty.
Similarly, the UFC light heavyweight fighter Modestas Bukauskas picks Paddy Pimblett to beat Michael Chandler on April 12th. He said Paddy is bigger than Chandler, and his remarkable striking skills will play a key role in his victory. Modestas admits that Chandler is also a very powerful fighter, but he believes Paddy will overcome this challenge using his outstanding jiu-jitsu.
In this, I was actually talking about it with a friend the other day, and I am leaning towards Paddy Pimblett because he's got very long range. He was used as striking very well against Bobby Green in his last fight. Chandler's a lot shorter. He's very explosive, very powerful, and good wrestling. But if he takes him down, he's got to handle Paddy's jiu-jitsu, which is next level. And obviously, his length of his strikes and stuff for this, I think Chandler will find it hard to get in. And Paddy's got a great way of slowly closing in on his opponent. So I believe Paddy will get the job done.
Meanwhile, Torres Finney, who is a great admirer of Michael Chandler's skills and style, is concerned for his chances against Paddy. Torres is disappointed with Chandler's recent performances, and he has lost his trust in him now. That's why he feels Paddy Pimblett has more chances to win this fight against Chandler.
Man, that's a great fight. But every time I pick Chandler, he pisses me off because Chandler, to me, man, he is so good. He is so good. And I know how he fights. He fights for the fans. But man, I wish he just would fight to win. You know, his fight IQ, and to say he's going to change it now, it's hard for me to see it. But then again, I look at the avenues of how Paddy Pimblett could win. You know, and I think for Paddy to win, in my opinion, it has to be on the ground. And I don't think he can really take Chandler down. I saw Oliveira do it, but I don't know if Paddy's wrestling is to the same degree. That's a toss-up fight. But I'm going to lean Paddy Pimblett because I can't trust Michael Chandler's fight IQ.
Furthermore, Pedro Falcao claims that Michael Chandler will be the favorite to knock out Paddy Pimblett in the first couple of rounds. The bantamweight fighter thinks if the fight goes to the final rounds, then Paddy Pimblett will have a slight chance.
I think Michael Chandler will give like whole energy since the beginning of the fight. I think first and second round are gonna be so dangerous for Paddy Pimblett for sure. But if it is a long fight, Pat can finish him for sure. So have the both styles different times, you know. I think Chandler are gonna win second round TKO.
So this is all we have for today, and hopefully you have liked all these predictions from the MMA pros. We would also love to know your thoughts about this fight, so share your predictions in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get instant notifications about our latest videos.